Good morning, folks. Hello, Songvale. As you already know, we are playing World of Warcraft. I have moved my house to uh, a new location. Well, both of them are in a new location. My Horde house, I moved from over there by this waterfall instead up in this mesa, which feels a little bit more Thalassian, a little less desert, oasis, tropical, which isn't really my thing. So there it is. It also occurs to me that I need to put the chat where I can see it when I'm in game. Give me just a second. Just responding to someone in the chat. I had posted in LFG, trying to get people from my server to come and settle in my neighborhood, which is, as you can see, largely empty. Oh, someone new has come. Their name is Fork. Let us go visit Fork and see what they have built. Right, the chat. I like this spot too. It is nice. I think moving was the right choice. I do not regret moving at this point. I think I like the lizards and the waterfall at the previous one, but overall I'm happier with this, and I do still get to see the waterfall very clearly, and also I get to see all of these waters too. But let us go see what Fork is cooking up. Fork is new there in literally the last 30 minutes. Kind of cool. You come down through a gorge. They're out on the... Ooh, there's a whole tunnel. Fork's kind of got a cool approach. Wonder if Fork's still here. Don't see Fork. They might not be here. I think it's... I was just thinking about that. As much as it feels kind of weird to go in people's houses even when they leave them private, I like to look inside. But it occurs to me, this person might be here and I'm live on stream, so I'm glad it shut me out. We're not going to do that. That was an error in judgment on my part. I still haven't pinned the chat, so... I'm going back to see what Songvale had to say. I think I remember seeing a thing where they said they were working on making it possible to have your companion pets or mounts wander around your yards. Maybe you can get a battle pet or mount lizards and you can have a lizard colony. It might be inside. Alright. I'm assuming might be inside was in relation to Fork, and yeah, maybe they're decorating inside. But yeah. I did some neighborhood tasks. Just picking up sticks. figuring out the incense mechanic because we have the Niffin right now. I don't have a lot of drive, but I am both enjoying looking at World of Warcraft and trying to practice just enjoying looking at something without needing to have a task that gets done. So that's what we're here doing. Just chilling, hanging out. Someone, I feel like this is relevant to you, Songvale. Someone in LFG is saying that, I don't know where they got this from, maybe it's new lore, maybe they're making it up, but they are frustrated that Haranir are not canonically the Nelf to mid-troll, or to troll midpoint. They are apparently night elves who left the Well of Eternity and went into the earth. They're at least sitting. There might be sleeping wyverns. There's lots of wyverns flying around here. They might just be perching. Like they're perching. I think they just perch. They perch and they fly. Songwell says that the Haranir lore is kind of fascinating, but she doesn't know if she's frustrated that because... And then she left us in suspense. The idea that there could have been nearly elf dark trolls who didn't become elves all the way did not square with her impression that it was a small group of dark trolls who did that. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, it felt weird and arbitrary that some of them would have wandered off in the middle of the process and become Quillbore people instead. Yeah, fair enough. I'm kind of just trying to explore. I feel like it's all kind of going in one eye, out the other. I realize that's not quite the same thing as, like, in one ear, out the other, because there's not, like, a clear tube idea like there is with ears. But I do kind of feel that as I'm running around. Like, I feel like I'm not necessarily remembering what I'm seeing. But, you know, I hope that if I ran around aimlessly enough, I would just start remembering what I'm seeing. I'm just kind of looking for cool places that I might want to hang out or at some point do roleplay. I'm trying not to engage so much with the feeling that I had, especially like during Dragonflight, where I'm like, wow, I wish this would have been a thing 15 years ago. I would have been able, like, I would have been nuts about this and I would have been able to feel, like, super great about this. And instead just trying to figure out, like, how do I enjoy it right now? But it's difficult, you know? Sungwell says, honestly, them becoming elves and then leaving in works better for me. And then that would be bizarre and terrifying. I'm trying to think, oh, in one eye, out the other? Yeah. I'm kind of enjoying watching the Tauren models walk around. And I'm liking the big furry boots. I feel like it fixes some of what I don't like about their slight reproportioning in the new model. Maybe we'll go put fluffy boots on my once main Tauren Huntress. That was what I played from the end. No, sorry. from the end of Wrath through the end of Pandaria. I had a pretty consistent main in this particular Tauren Huntress named Sekori. I'll put some fluffy boots on her and see if it fixes everything, which I'd never tried doing. Songwell says, yeah, like, does it bounce off the back of your skull and shoot back out? I don't like it. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's like a game of pool, you know? Alright. We need boots. Ooh. I'm into these cat models today. I don't know where Nikandi is, but I like their cats. Look at them. They're cuddling. No! I just wanted to see you cuddle. So sad. Alright. What do you think, Songvale? Is it valid to, like, just play WoW in silence? Or should I be trying to properly entertain? Alright, so somehow she has 3 models that are all the same. That's very strange. We need fluffy boots. They don't really just want, like, chunky for no reason. Although I guess, yeah, I do kind of like the proportions on that. But I want fluffy. This is odd. Like, why is the armor... Okay. That seems kind of weird to me, where they chose to put that. Where's the fluffy? Give me fluffy. Ooh. That's kind of cool, to be honest. I like the armor. It doesn't match this set at all, which I'm not really looking to change today, but I do like that. Alas, I thought I could find some, like, furry, fluffy boots. But I don't have any. So sad. That's terrifying. I don't like that at all. Look at that. Songwell says that I can entertain her by talking about elves. Did you see what I posted in Elf Gossip? I feel like maybe after I posted, I was like, did we talk about this before? But I feel like we talked more about Heartbeat. But that would be funny if the reason Ithildir is fine with leaning on Novarith is because he actually hasn't been told yet. Novarith is like, I'll tell him tomorrow. We'll just have a peaceful night. He'll get a good night's sleep. And then I'll tell him tomorrow. It seems to be fine. The bruising really isn't that bad. And it seems to be getting better after 48 hours. Songwell says, I got the meat thing once you need for taming that cat, but I was too afraid to ever try to use it because you had to do a specific thing with the meat and then a frost trap and the timing of the tame spell or something. And I only had one of the super rare drop meats. Oh, the Fey ones are neat. Wait, isn't the center top furry? That would be so sad for him in the morning. Well, you know, if he feels bad, I guess additional hugs are right there. What boots? Boots. I don't... Yes, boots. I don't get it. Center top. These ones? Top row, center position. Yeah, so I clicked on these, and I do see there's, like, fuzzies at the top, but I want the fur to kind of be going down the legs. Almost like you could pretend that they're actually just feathering on her legs instead of... instead of on the boots. You know what? You're right. Vanilla used to have some like bulky furry boots. I was thinking like, oh, they only added more geometry later, but vanilla did have some bulky boots. And since this is a very old transmog, no, I feel like for all these they flattened them out when they put them on Tauren. They did not retain the fluffy. Alas. Indeed, curses and lamentations, the Songvale. I will just have to try a new transmog, I guess, if I want to incorporate one of these bigger boots in. Well, we could pick some and maybe try building a new one, and I'll see if I like it enough. To go find the gold to save it. Maybe we'll try building around these, wood armor pieces. Sangwa says, I wonder what boots that NPC was wearing. You could try starting with the neat Fey boots. Yeah, these ones. Yep, we're on the same page here. Chain leggings of the Chosen Dead. I thought it said Chosen Dread, which was a little bit funnier, but... Just take Leilar's whole thing. Do another covered in leaves character. Leilar is another of my character. I think we might go back to that page with the Chosen Dread. See what we can come up with here. I kind of like this. I feel like that's going somewhere interesting. We are doing, you know, the, oh, that's not bad. Although, Riverglade already wears that. We are doing, like, the final boss of Transmog, which is male on a Tauren. You can make it through this. You can make a transmog out of anything. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, of course. Chosen Dead. It is from the same set. Of course it matches good. I do think it was okay, though. So we might still use that. Songo says, I don't think I've ever looked at the Chosen Dead male set, but she's used the plate one a lot. It is very difficult, and transmog gets harder and harder the more pieces you found that you like. Finding that last couple pieces that won't match them is just the worst. True. I think also part of the problem, though, is, like, right now I'm not super, like, in love or committed to anything. I was waiting to find out that this was also Chosen Dead, but I guess we already clicked on something and, like, found out what it was. I'm kind of thinking I like this, honestly. I feel like that's nice. Fungo says she remembers when she used to think that her problem with pauldrons because she always struggled to find the pauldrons at the end, so she started trying to, hey, that spine, wood, bone, ancestral with the right shirt under might be interesting. I agree, but I don't think the bones are right for this character. Long hunter tradition of putting animals somewhere on you. Tauren shoulders are also hard because sometimes they like put them really close to the neck for some reason and they look very odd. I could even try no shoulders, I guess. Can you imagine if Varen walked up dressed like this? Everybody who knew him from the incident would be like, oh my god. Varen, no. Songbell says that is the opposite of the Blood Elf Male Pauldron, where they leave enough space between the pauldron and the neck for swords to hit, for 8 swords to hit you at once. I think you'll need lower profile gloves if you go with no shoulders. Might be so, might be so. I'm gonna take the cloak off for right now. I kind of wish you could mark cloaks as, like, I will never use this. And, or just, like, items. Like, remove from normal view or something. That's kind of sweet. I did like the quiver, though, also. But I feel like being able to use the Revan pack would be nice. I could have goo hands. Yay! Songwell says, yeah, it would be neat to have, like, favorites. These are the 3 chess pieces I always use, and I've just resigned myself to that. Exactly. Maybe bare hands, honestly. I might try bare hands. But those are nice, too. I like that. Alright, let's see what we got for belts. Oh, the big belt. Okay. I wish this had more colors. I do really like this belt. often hard to get it to match anything in particular I'm doing. Songo says, do the trolls also have 3 fingers? I think they do, yes. Or 2 fingers and a thumb. It seems weird to me that... Isn't this like... I guess I probably haven't done Gilnean Heritage Armor. This just must be from that Gilnean quest chain I completed. I won't have done the Heritage Armor. I could put her in the butterfly stuff. I don't know. On the one hand, I kind of like this. But on the other, I haven't played this character for a while. So I am not sure that changing her away from like a classic Seikori Mog is the right thing to do. Because I feel like it will not help me reconnect with the character. But we will still save this as an option. Burb. Songville says, yes, I got an armor set for the Gilnean thing. Siba for belt commentary, we should probably strive for belts. There are more colors of that belt. Ooh. Okay. The Shadowlands one, I'm assuming? That is good to know. I think the green dangly belt is the one that is actually from the same set that the chest and legs are. Her face is deeply unflattering in this hat. Seikori used to always wear the Dragonstalker helm, actually. So we might have to try that just for old time's sake. There was a time she was in this, like, green hood, but she also used to wear the Dragonstalker helm all the time. So we'll have to make it all the way back there to look at that. You could be an Awu. Big Awu. She's wearing the black one on Eledris right now. Take deep issue where they put the big slit in the brim on that wizard hat. That goes in the back. Yeah, and they put it in the front. So she wore this for a long time. When I got that, just to shake things up. But she also used to wear this a lot. I don't know, I think this is, like, what I'm feeling from the set is, like, this is a good set, but I don't have a strong anything. I guess I should try it, if only to see if the boots help. Oh no. Wait. New custom set. Okay. Green. Green. Bark. I realized that if I put it um, here, it will overwrite this, and I don't necessarily want that. Alright. We can take a tour through some of her sets. I feel like not all of her sets got saved, because I feel like I remember other ones existing, but she said this one. She said this one. I think I made this, but I don't think I ever used it. This, I'm pretty sure I used for quite some time. I know I used this one for a long time. There's another set that I feel like was green, and I'm not seeing it here. But it definitely used that, like, green hood, and I must have just not saved it, or it was maybe even, like, pre-saving whole outfits. I'm not sure. What is going on here? Oh. I was like, I could see this, like, moving in the frame, and I was like, are you okay, Sigori? But yeah, I think this was the original version of this set, and then I eventually kind of toned it down a little bit, and I do really like this set. I just am not as into the feet on this model. Alright, do I have the gold on this? Let's see. I do. Cool. Sungwell says that was the most extra bow she'd ever seen. Alright, well, the good news is the feet are kind of interesting. The bad news is the hip armor is unplayable for me. So we'll put it back. We're gonna put it back.
I have just the thing, Wanderer. May your feet find good trail.
I mean, this isn't bad. It's just the feet feel so small to me. I wonder why there's a blaze hound out. I do not know. So sleepy. I think I'm gonna stand up and go in the kitchen and look at all the food, and then, I mean, hopefully I will find something to eat. Right now it feels somewhat likely that I will look at the food and go, there's nothing to eat, and then walk away. But we'll see. I'll be right back. I'm back. I actually did find food. I have made myself a spinach salad with a bunch of cheese. Fungal just said welcome out loud because I guess I forgot we weren't just in voice. Fair enough. Although, do you feel like you can tell a difference in the audio quality between, like, this and voice? I never use the snowball mic when I'm in voice. Tonguebill says yes, a little bit, but it's not as clear of a difference on Taurus's speakers as it would be if you had headphones on or speakers that were more than okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna Google something for somebody in LFG. I have just awkwardly sent them a link instead. I'm gonna go die. I sent them a link to the stream by accident because that's what was on my clipboard and it didn't pick up the tone that they need to get. I feel so embarrassed. I hope they do not come here. I'm gonna die. I already sent them the thing that it was supposed to. I know. I have sent them all of the correct information, but they haven't replied. I hate that. I do see a roleplay post, thank you. I will work on replying after I eat more of my salad. I'm gonna die. That is so embarrassing, friend. Why did I make a mistake? I don't like it. Songbell says, I don't know. What's so hard about doing everything perfectly all the time? Yeah, I'm not sure either. It occurs to me if I'm gonna leave y'all with no entertainment, because I'm eating right now, I should probably pick, like, something better. Like, better for you to stare at. But you can see I thought about trying to play her again. I've moved her up here into Way of Nature, where there is 3 hunters. And another hunter up here. A lot of hunters. Oh, you left before you maybe saw any house that I put in the woods, so I'll go do that. This is my cottage woods house. I got 3 trees, which is all the money I had. Thank you, friend. I need to make the tree that's behind the house bigger because right now it's not really doing anything. Although I do feel like it's good from, like, this view. Stop running. But that's what we got. Yeah, I was trying to decide if I felt like it was too of a specific flavor, but I feel like just going for woodland whimsy, it's fine. Well, a word of caution. If you decide to try it, it deletes everything. So you will have to redo anything you've placed on the exterior of your house, both in terms of the house model, but also, like, I know at one point you had put, like, vines on it, so you'll have to, like, take all those off. Which, to some extent, I guess I'm now a little bit glad that I did, because it was part of what spurred me to, like, well, let's go look at other plots. And I think I like the moon rising at the other one is kind of cool, but I really just don't need the ocean view. I am a little sad to not be next to the 2 people who made, like, cool tree houses, but yeah, somehow it's in the shade and yet feels brighter. And it has a toy fort with a little attic in it, yeah. You can see this person Okay, that's a tree. Has made this cool kind of treehouse thing going on. And then this is the plot I was in, but I have moved now. But I really like this person's treehouse right here. Songville says that she thinks the brightness is probably the colors, but maybe it's also the contrast. Like, the shade of the trees makes the not shady parts look brighter. I agree. I think this area has a kind of gray quality to it. Songville says she's debating using a bunch of boulders to put her house up on them and then have a cave underneath. You can keep mushrooms there. Yes, the one thing I would say is remember that you can't put most lighting items anywhere that's technically outside. They did confirm that the reason they shut that off is because they had massive performance issues if people put lights outside. It was not clear to me whether or not they intended to fix it. It might be a technical limitation. Yeah. Which, in fairness, I cannot believe how detailed and how granular they have made it possible for this to be. Like, when I try to think, there's a griffin sitting at the top of their house. I love that. When I think about how much data it feels like each of these houses is. I mean, maybe they came up with a really elegant solution and it's really no more data than, like, a bank. I kind of doubt that. But it almost, not that I want them to do this, so I hope I'm not giving anybody ideas here. But I'm honestly kind of surprised that, like, it's not an extra $5 a month to have a house in World of Warcraft. You know? I also, frankly, like, again, I don't want them to change this, but when I think about how many things have gotten more expensive over the years, I'm so surprised that World of Warcraft has stayed the same. In fact, it might have even gotten, like, $1 cheaper when they started letting you do, like, 6-month or 12 months plans. And you just can't take that for granted these days. Songville says she thinks it's probably more than a bank because they have to store positioning information, but it's not like they need to restore all the models and textures, just the info on which ones to spawn where. Yeah. So, like, maybe they have it down to a pretty good amount of, like, model ID, XYZ coordinate, scale of model. And that's why things like the chairs don't work well when scaled, because they really have it, like, super bare bones. But I still feel like that's a lot of new data to be stored server side. I do wish it was easier to, like, do some kind of, like, all neighborhood messaging. Like, it would be fun to try and tell everybody, hey, like, let's meet up on Friday at the town center and, like, hang out. Songville says, I think to fix the chairs, they would need to find a way of associating the sitting character model with a specific collision surface. rather than the specific amount of space above the chair model's pivot point. Yeah, and or like make the pivot point not on the ground, maybe. But I feel like that could get messy, too. Look at this person's house. They have a little Murloc plushie. That is so cute. I wouldn't be surprised if they changed that thing about the chair, if it would instantly make the chairs, like, way harder to place. I guess chairs could just become, like, double the budget, and they have 2 points. Like, every model has 2 points. But I don't know what the math or technicality would be on, like, keeping a relationship between those points that is recalculated based on scaling. Flying around hoping to discover other cool houses. I feel like there used to be what felt like more houses here. Ooh, this is nice, actually. Is that a fish? Oh, it's a dragon head. Okay. I feel like there is an order to how they've placed this, but I'm not really understanding what it is. Something about the layout of this reminds me of that scene from the first Lord of the Rings where they're having the birthday party. You know? Longwell says, putting it not on the ground may help, but it still wouldn't prevent you from flipping into a chair that's really scaled up in size. You have a recommendation for landscaping when I get more plant money. If I put some clumps of bushes and tall grasses and flowers around the base of the trees, it will look more natural. I agree. The main thing is that I just have, like, not infinite funds, but also I have fear that, like, I'm wasting gold because there is, like, a maximum amount of decor items you can have. And I assume they just get deleted. Like, you can just delete them, but you can't, like, resell them or get the gold back. And so I'm also wary of, like, going and stocking up and being like, oh, I'll always want more of this. But, I don't know, maybe it's a moment of don't worry about optimization brain, just make a nice thing. There is a maximum number you can own. I know I saw it somewhere. I think it was like 5,000 things. I don't remember, though. I think it was 5,000, but I'm not sure. Look how many apples this person has. Wow, that night elf needs to back up a little bit. You are standing very close. I realize he's very large. What? Sir? It's not the way to leave. Are you smart enough to understand how tables work? Longwell says that makes me not want to buy anything more until I see what's coming for Quel'Thalas stuff at midnight. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't read that somewhere, but I feel like I found in a UI in the last couple days that I saw it was like out of 5,000 for collected items. Yeah, the Pandaren, I don't know, maybe was told that, like, he couldn't buy out the whole shop. I'm not sure. He's coming back. Uh-oh, he's coming back. Oh, you leaving again? Alright, good. I must say, I understand why they do it, but I keep getting surprised with plots where, like, when you look at them when nothing's there, there's, like, plants and stuff like that. But then once your house is there, like, all those plants are, like, auto-cleared away. I don't like that. Like, sometimes I'm picking out plots because I like the amount of foliage. What if he starts doing martial arts on the apples? Well, hopefully he's ridiculous and not actually competent and his hand gets hurt. This is cool. It's simple, but cool. We run through. That's nice. Okay. Oh, I thought this was gonna be like a walkway down to the water. It's definitely just a drop off. I also like this fence. It looks pretty good. I like their night elf rocks. I didn't realize that, like, a portion of this wood did feel more Night Elven and less Drustvar. I thought it was all spooky. But this part does actually feel, like, not haunted. I say as we approach a graveyard. A literal graveyard. Because, like, this feels dead and creepy. You know? Sungo says, I wish I had gotten the warden owl statue when it was allegedly easier, but oh well. What made it easier? Just that it was on that vendor? Songwell says, allegedly getting the achievement plus the bronze to buy it was easier than whatever way you grind currency for it now. I wonder, like, occasionally I discover, I think it's mainly mounts, that I'm like, oh, I'd like to have this, but you have to get it from, like, PvP tokens from doing, like, world objectives in Legion. And, like, the mounts are, like, close to, like, they're hundreds to thousands of them to get these mounts. I think it's like, the upper hundreds. And you can get, like, 10 a day. This is a housing plot for a very specific person. Honestly, their house looks kind of creepy. And I guess that fits. Like, the fact that they didn't decorate kind of makes it creepier. Songwell said, I would believe that a lot more if it had been associated with any rep faction other than the Wardens. The Wardens are not a quick or fun faction to grind rep. Oh, right, they're the ones where it was, like, super random wherever they were, right? The Wardens are not a quick or fun faction to grind rep with, and I'm annoyed because you already did it, just not in Remix. Yeah, I can see where you didn't really want to do it again. Yeah, this feels kind of Night Elven-y again. And less spooky. I don't know, I think it's these, like, dead branches mixed into the trees that make it a little bit spooky to me. This person's house is right at the road, with their secret Void Elf stuff in the back. Where are we on the map? Oh, we're kind of like way out in the corner. I think it would also help me to feel like this was less creepy if it didn't only play creepy music. Got a lot of colors there. Songwell says there may or may not be any given number of world quests per day in random places, and that's basically how you grind up with them. Yeah, I remember they were the ones that were like kill targets. They don't have a questing zone like the other factions of Legion did, and the music here is very specific. Yeah, and I'm not super keen on thing it specifically is. Why do you think there's a log here? I guess maybe it's just holding this rock in place. That could be, I guess. I feel like this is a hidden hangout area, so we're gonna go look at it. Got flowers. I really thought this seemed like the kind of place that like Blizzard would have put a bench in the way that they designed the housing areas. Maybe it is for ducks to stand on. That is possible. That is specifically for ducks. I do feel like a lot of these zones don't feel as like dark. Like, I feel like I remember this area being dark. And I guess I don't know if maybe I was here during the evening and I didn't realize that that wasn't normal, or if they did lighten it up because maybe the creepiness was not as extremely popular as they thought, and they were like, we don't need as many creepy things. I can take the tavern loaf. I have a buff now that just says holding a loaf of bread. And I'm just staring at it. Okay. Songwell says, I want to redo my whole house. I wish there was a way to save Kalarian's office so I could just redo the things, or redo things that depends on. Yeah, I want them to do that as well, because I think that's also part of the reason that, like, I'm reluctant to even work on my house, because I feel like I don't have a good plan for it, and I also don't want to be frustrated if I decide to redo things. I did run right by your house, yep. It's right up there. Let's go look in this cave. We're gonna end up in the water. Oh, we made it. Alright, the cave has a torch and some bones. And me with a loaf of bread. There's something very, like, folkloric about this. If somebody walked in right now... Hey, could I do you a favor and see if there is mushroom decor items? Alright, let's take a look. Mushroom. Fung. Alright, we got fungal vents. Fungal chest. Fungal fountain. You should get this. Mushroom chair. Fungal says, yeah, if someone walked in, I'd offer them the bread, and then if they ate it, they'd be trapped in the underworld. Exactly. We got a bird bath. I think this is a gazebo. Bag. Banner. First barrel. And mushroom jar. Kind of looking to see. I mean, we have plant lamp. Oh, I like this one. I'm sorry about the stream being frozen. Hopefully it is not me. Did you see me going through, like, all of the mushroom furniture? It wasn't lamps. No, you missed all the mushrooms. Okay, well, let's look at lamps and see what plant lamps there are, and then we'll go back to things called fungal. Burning Amani Pinecone. Interesting. Fungal says, I'm wondering if there might be plants that give off enough light that I could illuminate a cave with them. I guess we could just look in... Ooh, that's pretty. We could just look in plants and see if any of them seem to glow. This looks like it might glow. I'm not sure if this glows or not. The butterfly sconce was great. This, I know, has a little bit of a glow effect. I also think you should just get this. This is a moss mound. I bet this glows. From Harandar. Oh, they're doors and windows, though, so I don't know if they'd be placeable outside. This kind of looks like it glows. Maybe also. And this is a lamppost that doesn't seem like... I mean, this might have some lighting effect on it. But I'm also not sure. I'm sorry that the Twitch typing box is annoying you. I think it's possible that the reason that your cursor goes away is maybe to help prevent spam. Like, people have to continually re-click into it. Before, though, we had searched just the word, like, fungal, because mushroom doesn't come up with anything. Well, okay, mush does, because there's dumplings. But if you search fungal, there is this fence, a chest. The chest does glow, so you could do that. I really think you need this fountain. I love this fountain. Chair. A bird bath. This fountain? I don't know. It doesn't say yet, so I'm wondering if it's gonna be like something that's not in the game yet, or unfortunately if it's gonna end up being in the cash shop. And the rest of these like weren't that aesthetic. I mean, this jar is kind of cute. But yeah, like this, like all three of these are lush garden things. And they match a transmog set that has been on the trading post. I mean, it's also possible, I guess, that they're incoming trading post items. Hey, do you notice that the water effect for this is dripping through the ground? What's funny is, like, I don't even see this effect, like, in here. So this is just a leak if you try to put it on a table. I guess maybe that is also a sign I'm thinking about being ready to stand up and get going with my day. Do you care to meet me in Blade Chat and help me work out a schedule, please? Songville is complaining that her internet is being obnoxious. My bread is cute. I'm going to leave us on a view of Entrin, Edgelord, Contemplator of Bread. Thanks for hanging out, Songvale. And I will see you... Well, I'll see you this evening. And I will see everybody else catching the stream next week on Wednesday for more WoW. And Thursday for Genshin Impact once again. Have a good one, folks. Goodbye. It does match the accents on his mog. Isn't that incredible? Alright, catch you in a bit.